Welcome back to Southpaw Picks, and you're here with your host Charles, and this is UFC Fight Night, Walker versus Hill. We got 12 fights ahead of us. Couple fights have fallen out. Couple of late replacements. Couple of debuting fighters. Low level card. But we're going to try and go through it and find whatever angle we can get and turn this into a profitable weekend. Definitely going to post on Friday after the post-weigh-in shows my official plays, and it will have some Bellator plays mixed into it. There's some Bellator spots I like, although I will not be doing a Bellator breakdown. But anyways, let's get into it. First fight of the night. Feels familiar. Bantamweight fight. Jesse Strader versus Chad Alhassan coming out of Canada. With an 11-5 record. 35 years old. Up against Jesse Strader. I mean, Chad's on a pretty decent win streak against experienced opponents. You know, he's a high-pressure guy. Keeps a tight pace. Not too much with the power in his hands, but stays in front of you and consistently is doing something. It looks good for the judges, and it can definitely work your opponent's cardio if he's not available. But you got a guy in Jesse Strader who has heavy hands, despite the record. And, definitely could be in a situation where Chad pushes him to the brink and he gets exhausted. I can see Chad maybe getting a sub here. But I got to think with Jesse Strader here with a 6-inch reach advantage, and Chad, is going to be someone who's going to close the distance. Jesse Strader's got heavy hands. This is a fight where, I don't know how you can make Chad Alhassan almost a 3-1 favorite. If I'm going to give a pick here, I guess Chad should be the favorite just based on win streak and pacing. But Jesse Strader does have power in his hands and a 6-inch reach advantage. I don't mind if you want to take a shot on the dog, but definitely wouldn't be involved in that fight, if you're asking me. But moving on up here, we got a strawweight bout. Diana Belbita versus Gloria de Paula. Now, I love this fight. Probably one of the fights I'm going to be targeting as far as betting goes. And we got Diana coming off her first win in the UFC against a girl in Hannah Goldie who's, doesn't have a killer instinct. Pretty much put in a position Diana could have got finished in the third round on the ground to a girl that, she had 6 inches in height on and probably 6 inches, 7 inches in reach. A situation where Diana was the taller, longer woman, and Hannah Goldie was willing to stay on the outside and not get involved into a firefight as her victory. I gotta say the losses here for Gloria de Paula are stronger losses. Cheyenne Velissimus, she could bang, decent wrestling. You got Jin Fry, well-rounded fighter, although former atomweight, she's got a decent size and she has physical ability. So a girl as far as Gloria goes who, a bit of a long, lanky type of fighter, Jin Fry was able to, out-veteran her with a lot of tactics in that fight. Now, Diana Belbita, this isn't the same matchup she had prior with the reach advantage. It's very minimum here as far as Tapology goes. I really want to see them size up in front of each other because I do believe Gloria de Paula has the grappling advantage here. And striking fairly even. So I got to go with Gloria de Paula very early, but we got to see the weigh-ins. Moving on up, we got a featherweight bout. Chad Skelly versus Mark Striegl. Chad Skelly hasn't fought in like 3 years. Good fighter. He's 36 now. He's a -220 favorite. Mark Striegl got destroyed by Said Nurmagomedov in seconds, but, he just destroyed Cody Stamen in seconds. What a tough fight to break down. Like, how do we know what Chad Skelly has done in 3 years? Very difficult fight. Then we got a situation with Mark Striegl. High-level wrestler out of the Philippines. He has some credentials, but, these guys have a similar record. I think it's one of these situations where you might just have to give the lean to activity. But, man, a bet I don't want to get involved in. But if I have to choose, I guess I'll go with the younger man here and take the dog. I mean, Chad Skelly is the naturally bigger guy with 3 inches in height and 4 inches in reach. Man, you know what? does Mark Striegl, it's just grappling. I mean, Chad Skelly is a decent grappler. Mark Striegel's not landing any knockouts here, so you know what? I gotta go with Chad Skelly. 3 years off, maybe he's improved quite a bit. Maybe he's just getting off the couch. It's so hard to know what version of a fighter's coming with a 3-year layoff. Moving on up, we got a fight with Jessica Rose Clark and Stephanie Egger at a bantamweight. Now, if I'm not mistaken, Jessica Rose Clark fought Jocelyn Edwards at what? Let's see here. Was that a bantamweight fight? Because Jocelyn Edwards is a bantamweight, but Jocelyn Edwards is more of a flyweight. Sarah Alpar as well was at bantamweight. So she was a bigger woman against Edwards. And you got Stephanie Egger, who faces Tracy Cortez, loses a decision. Not very competitive. Shayna Young, she finishes with the ground and pound, but Shayna Young was getting off the couch. Stephanie Egger's got, 5'6", 68 inches of reach. Very inexperienced as an MMA fighter. You got to think Jessica Rose Clark is going to just have the experience advantage. More of a, I would say, more heavy hands in that aspect. But, Egger's not that much bigger than her, but I feel like Egger is. I mean, I got to see these girls really size up. That would really give me the best example on what to do here and how to attack this. But Jessica Rose Clark has so much experience. Stephanie Egger is not coming in with that experience. They both can grapple. I would give the striking edge to Jessica Rose Clark and the experience edge to her. But man, what a tough fight to be betting on. But I gotta go with Jessica Rose Clark. But man, this is a trap of a card. Moving on up, we got Gabriel Benitez versus David Onama. Man, David Onama, I was such a fan of his watching that Mason Jones fight. He took it on short notice. Dude was a dog in there, heavy hands, looked very well rounded for someone who just took the fight on short notice. And I liked it so much at -125. I thought that line would stay there. He is blowing up. He's going to be -200, 230 before you know it. Gilbert Benitez is a very experienced fighter, but he's been really having a serious decline over his last few fights. And Justin James is not an opponent to jump up and be excited over as far as a W goes. It's been a while since Gilbert Benitez had any notable wins. Now, you just gotta wonder here, is David Onama gonna put on another gutsy performance and pull it out like Mason Jones, or is David Onama gonna go out there and finish Gilbert Benitez? 3 inches in reach. He's the bigger man here. I think David Onama gets to finish, and I'm very excited to see this prospect move on. Debating if I'm gonna bet him at these -200 prices. When I saw him earlier, I really liked him at -25, and I mixed him up in some stuff. But at -170, -200, it's getting pretty steep. He still does have to prove it to us, right? He was fighting a pretty new MMA fighter in Mason Jones, right? Moving up the card, we got a bantamweight fight. Mauro Bautista versus debuting Jay Perrin. Now, the only evidence we have of Jay Perrin fighting is his match in the Contender Series. It was fairly competitive, but neither guy got a contract there. Mauro Bautista coming off a knockout loss to Trevin Jones, finishing Miles Johns and getting a decision over Jin Soon's son. But, and I mean, he had that fight with Corey Sandhagen very early. Mauro Bautista is a decent fighter. He's training over there at the MMA lab. He's got guys like Kyler Phillips and Sean O'Malley, and I'm sure he's just gaining and gaining every day. Now, this Jay Perrin guy, I watched his fights. He's a pressure guy, decent wrestling, and I don't think Mauro Bautista is going to get the fight he's expecting, right? He had a guy in Trevin Jones who's looking to throw hands. Miles Johns definitely wasn't getting his grappling working in that fight, and another striking situation. You just wonder, with a guy that's going to be out here searching for rear naked chokes and grappling, how's Mario going to deal with that ability? Now, this guy's taking the fight on short notice. How prepared is he? They got the same reach. I just don't think Mario's going to have a situation where you can pick him off on the outside. I do see Jay Perrin closing the distance. I do like that dog shot As much as I'm a fan of Mario Bautista, plus 220 on a guy that I know is going to do the same thing. He's going to go for the takedowns. How's Mario Bautista's takedown defense? He wasn't training for a wrestler. Moving on up the card. So early lean, I think Jay Perrin is all the value, but I gotta go Mario Bautista as the actual favorite here. Moving on up the card, we got a featherweight bout. Jonathan Pearce versus Christian Rodriguez. Christian Rodriguez is a solid prospect. I just think this might be too much too soon. Jonathan Pearce, 6 foot, the bigger man, decent grappling. You know what's funny? Tracy Cortez's brother trains under these same guys at Fight Ready. This is their second go at Christian Rodriguez, and that fight was fairly close. And Christian Rodriguez came in with the overweight. So, looking at a situation here with Jonathan Pearce, I think he's going to get the wrestling going. I think it's going to be a very close fight, but I can see Jonathan Pearce just implementing the pressure on a kid that was not preparing for a crazy pace and getting a close victory. I think Christian's going to show out, but I just don't know if he's going to have enough to beat Jonathan Pearce in this spot. So Pearce is the pick. Moving on to the stuff I am excited about, the main card. We got first fight of the main card, Joaquin Buckley versus Abdul Razak Alhassan. Both these guys got me paid off their last W's, and it's a beautiful thing. I'm going to propose this idea to you here. In a lot of situations with the MMA, we see this situation where there's like a triangle effect where he beats him and he beats him, but then he beats him. I think this might be one of these scenarios. Obviously, Alex Tarico put out Joaquin Buckley in the first round with a head kick. Abdul Razak Alhassan goes and puts out Tarico with a head kick. Now Abdul Razak Alhassan has to fight Joaquin Buckley. I don't think Abdul is a world beater in the sense that he should be able to beat both these guys 9 times out of 10. So I'm going to trust the math here. On top of that, I do think Buckley has the cleaner hands and the better gas tank. Obviously, Abdul is dangerous enough to land a shot and put him out, but I just believe the hand speed, the technique of Buckley, the drive to want to throw hands. I think he gets this victory. I think he gets the knockout too. Solid prospect in Joaquin Buckley. Moving on up, Jim Miller versus Nikolas Motta. Now, tough fight here. The veteran, as you know, he could definitely take out guys that are not at that high level. But this Nikolas Motta guy, heavy hands, man. And he has the gas tank. I think this is too much for Jim Miller to deal with at his late age. And this young guy training out of Factory F, he's one of the new school kids, man. 29 years old, 15 fights. He's going to be ready for a 38-year-old guy to try and take him down. And I just believe Jim Miller is not going to find that success here. I believe the power shots of Nikolas Motta are going to land and put Jim Miller out. Love Motta in this spot, and I can't wait to see this fight in particular. Moving on up, we got a heavyweight fight, and I want to let you guys know in advance, this is one of my sneaky dog shots that I will be taking. Parker Porter, okay, beat Chase Sherman. That guy's done. He's done. He got beat by a similar type of fighter in Jake Collier. All right, Josh Parisian, done. He's not that good, man. And then he gets slept by Chris Daukaus. Alan Badout. Rodrigo Nascimento beats Parker Porter. What are we talking about? Tom Espinal obviously KO's Alan Badout. He beats Parker Porter right now. Listen, Todd Stout, that fight I saw, he definitely lost. The fight got overturned to a disqualification. They gave him a win. So he is riding a 3-fight streak where he got finished. I think Todd Stout beats Parker Porter. Let me tell you something. I think Alan Badout's speed is going to be too much here. He's got a 4-inch reach advantage. I don't think Parker Porter is going to be able to close that distance in time and force him up against the wall. I think Parker Porter is not going to be able to take these shots. The hand speed of Alan Badout, a plotting guy. Listen, Rodrigo Nascimento had a longer reach than Alan Badout. On top of that, right, he was able to just touch that guy from the outside and then try to close the distance. And even he got rocked at that point. Tom Aspinall, you already know what that guy is. So, plus 200 shot on Alan Badout all day. I see this fight Parker Porter coming to press the distance, trying to throw these leg kicks and just getting countered with crosses and straight rights down the pipe. Alan Badout is going to knock out Parker Porter. And trust me, when that prop is available, I'm taking the shot. I don't even want to see the weigh-ins. As long as this guy shows up, he gets the KO here. Moving on up the card, we got a... Oh, it's at a catch weight. I thought it was going to be at middleweight, but it's at a catch weight here at 195. Kyle Daukaus versus Jamie Pickett. Man, listen, I bet on Jamie Pickett a few weeks ago. Yeah, I had a ticket with Jamie Pickett. And, that ran. I had a ticket with Jamie Pickett. I got 6 units on it earlier. I think it was about week 2 when I started these breakdowns. Very similar situation here. But I knew what I was betting on when I took Jamie Pickett. And it was a situation that you weren't even confidently enjoying while it was happening. Kyle Daukaus is not Joseph Holmes. He's not Leonardo Staropoli, although I do respect Pickett coming off 2 back-to-back dog wins here. Pickett has a 4-inch reach advantage. Now, let me just clarify this with Kevin Holland. Just how much reach did Kevin Holland have on Kyle Daukaus? So obviously he did have the reach advantage. So he had 5. So he had, more of a reach advantage than Jamie Pickett, man. Shouts to Kevin Holland, who's going down to welterweight with a reach like that. 81 inches, crazy. But Kyle Daukaus was boxing up Kevin Holland despite that reach advantage. Definitely was the stronger man. I just don't think Jamie Pickett is on that level of grappling where Kyle Daukaus is. I think he cruises here. Probably gets a rear naked choke on Jamie Pickett. And, halts that win streak. Kyle Daukaus is due after that headbutt incident. And he's coming off a loss to Phil Hawes in a grueling fight. Let me tell you, Kyle Daukaus gets this win, and I think he gets this win easily and gets the finish by rear naked choke. Moving on up to the main event, Johnny Walker versus Jamahal Hill. A light heavyweight bout. A situation where we got Jamal coming in at a heavy favorite. Last time this happened, and he had a ranked opponent, he got finished, right? He's not as strong as these light heavyweights. You can see it in Jamahal Hill's build. He's not as strong as these other guys. Johnny Walker's a big, strong, light heavyweight guy. Definitely cutting weight. A lot of weight probably to make this 205 limit. I like Jamahal Hill a lot. He's at a 3-inch reach at disadvantage. He's at a 2-inch height disadvantage. Johnny Walker's the younger man, stronger man here. Let's be real here, man. Look who Johnny Walker's facing. People want to make fun of Johnny Walker, but look who Johnny Walker's facing. In these he's lost, 3 out of his last 4, right? But look at these losses. Corey Anderson, right? First round knockout to Corey Anderson. A guy who, depending on how that goes there with Vadim Nemkov, one of the top light heavyweights in the world. Nikita Krylov, right? A guy with a 26-7 record. Last loss he has is to Magomed Ankalaev, and I believe Nikita Krylov has lost to Jan Blachowicz as well, right? So, even when you investigate Nikita Krylov as an opponent who's 29 years old, man, think of we haven't seen him in a while. He's only 29. Look at who Nikita Krylov has lost to: Jan Blachowicz, Glover Teixeira, Magomed Ankalaev. Come on, these guys are championship level guys, and then he beats up whoever he's supposed to. So. And then Ryan Spann, you see Johnny finish that guy in the first round, very similar to Anthony Smith, right? And then he loses to a guy in Thiago Santos, who you already know what Thiago Santos is. In a situation where he didn't fight like what we were used to, but it was 48-47. Go see that fight. That's what the judges had it, 48-47. It was a horrible fight, but it was 48-47. How are you giving me Johnny Walker plus 200 against a guy in Jamahal Hill who I know has the faster hands, who I know has decent striking ability, but this is an opponent he hasn't dealt with. Jimmy Crute is not Johnny Walker. Paul Craig is not Johnny Walker. Ovin St. Preux, old man, he's not Johnny Walker. Ovin St. Preux, definitely not a high-level win at this point. Clinton Sombrero, not a high-level win. I like Jamahal Hill, but I don't think he gets this fight. I do think Johnny Walker is going to be crazy enough in that cage and cause him with such problems. I do believe the strength advantage for Johnny is there. The power, man. You watch some of these fights Johnny Walker's had with these guys. First of all, the skill level. Any one of these guys that he lost to is better than Jamahal Hill. Jamahal Hill's not beating Corey Anderson. Jamahal Hill's not beating Nikita Krylov. And he's not, well, I think he might be a little more competitive with Thiago Santos, but probably not. What am I doing? Very disrespectful. Thiago Santos probably gets the win and probably comes in as the favorite. Jamahal Hill's not a favorite to any one of these guys that Johnny Walker's faced. And he might not even be a favorite to Ryan Spann or Misha Serkinov. Probably Misha Serkinov now. But I gotta say this, man. I am going with Johnny Walker in the main event. Look at the experience, too. I mean, Jamahal Hill, 10 fights, 18-6 for Johnny Walker. And I know these guys have long amateur experiences and they've been training for a long time. I think Johnny Walker has been training for a very long time and thrown right into the deep end after he got on a hot streak beating contenders in the same situation Jamahal Hill is. Then he was fighting real dogs, and I feel like this is the type of career Jamahal Hill might have. He might fight the real dogs and might not win. So Johnny Walker all day. I like Johnny Walker. I like Kyle Daukaus. Sprinkle on Badout. Love Nikolas Motta. Love Joaquin Buckley. Main card fights is what I'm into this week, but still very, very dangerous as far as betting goes. Just want to give you guys a quick shout out. Like and subscribe. Thank you for watching Southpaw Picks. Look out for the post-weigh-in show on Friday. And yeah, let's go out and kill the bookies this weekend. See you guys later.